Hey Black Desert community, I'm back for another video, and guess what? I love you all and I love your game. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining a passive income system that ends up being so beautiful. It's elegant, like a mathematical equation or something, that like any player can do it. It actually ends up bypassing the value pack. It bypasses Chemist Sylvia buff. It doesn't require any pay to win items at all. And like at the extreme, if you just felt like just doing this and nothing else, it doesn't even, like, you don't even need pets. You don't need gear. You basically don't need almost anything. What I'm going to cover here is a system based on crate production and trading the crates specifically from Grana to Valencia to get the maximum value. Okay, so let's go over the spreadsheet so we can actually look at some numbers while I'm explaining stuff to you guys. This is actually a simple spreadsheet that I made when I was first getting into the crate production things, because I wanted to actually look at the marketplace prices and then see what I was going to deal with in terms of profit, or just to see if it was profitable at all in the first place, you know. So I'll just go over the columns and then explain a few things to you guys so you guys understand everything that you see here. So first column is just plywood. These are the different plywood types that are involved in making all the crates. These are the market prices that were in place when I made this spreadsheet, and these will fluctuate depending on a lot of things, and we can talk about that later. These are the crate types, so it's Baleno, Serendia, Calpheon, and Medea, and the plywood types to make each crate, which are tied into the production costs and the total value and all that. So the production cost at given market price, this is what it costs you to buy every single piece of plywood that you need to make the crates. So this is under the assumption that you're buying the materials off of the marketplace. Okay, so given these prices at this production, this column is the Grana to Valencia Artisan 2 value for the crate turn-ins, right? So this value you see here is actually fixed. This has nothing to do with how much plywood is on the market or anything like that. It's just the value that you're getting as an Artisan 2 trader trading from Grana to Valencia. So because this is a fixed value, it allows for things like making more profit than some other players depending on certain situations. And we can see here, so the profit per crate based on the fixed value that you're getting and how much it costs for you to make it, this is how much you make per crate given these numbers. And then this is the profit per max stack. You can stack 7,157 crates onto a horse to be able to transport it from Grana to Valencia. And obviously you want to be transporting at your maximum capacity so you don't have to make more trips, you know, than you need to. So I can show you guys a clip here where I'm setting up to AFK process timber, and I end up finding some plywood at a very good price based on the spreadsheet, and I just buy as much of it as I can, and then we can come back to this and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so if we look here at this column, you can see that when I did this stuff for the spreadsheet, maple was actually at 11,329 silver per plywood. So of course we saw a good price on the marketplace. We'll buy all of it that we can at the price that we found it, and the crates that have maple in it are obviously affected by buying it at a lower price than this. So here's what I want you guys to look at. Balenos and Serendia crates, they're profiting per max stack 109 million and 97.7 million, right? So let's plug in the price that we bought the maple at there in the clip, 99.76, and then push enter, and then look at these numbers now. So instead, you're getting 157.8 million and 146 million per max stack there. So that's pretty huge. That's the type of thing that you want to be doing as much as you can, obviously buying plywood at good prices. And I've done the same thing for fur. I didn't record that one, but somebody was posting it at 14, I think it was like 314, something like that, something close to that. And look at the number here, 167.9 million. So that moves the Calpheon crate way up in value from what it was before. I'll undo that so you guys can see. So undo, and it used to be 82.7. The thing to understand from this is that a smallish, seemingly small difference in price for plywood, like a difference in price of like 2K about here, ends up being huge value for you over the course of multiplying it so many times, because you have 5 pieces of that plywood per crate and then 7,157 of those crates. So it's just major profit when you can buy plywood at lower than this. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what we're looking at here and what you're trying to do in terms of buying off the market. So just as an example, because it will happen over time, but it's not like you're going to be doing it every single turn in. But let's look at the numbers. If you're processing the plywood yourself, right? So instead of paying the price that you see here, market price, because you're processing yourself, let's just put in a 0 at one of these plywoods and then see what the profit looks like, okay? So let's say you process enough plywood, 0 for maple. Now look at these profits. I'm not saying this is going to happen all the time, but this is what I mean, where you're using your AFK time to process timber. You're looking at huge profit in return for crate production. So for this system, the priority is crate production. So the requirements, let's talk about the necessities. I already said a bunch of stuff that you don't need, but you are required to assign your contribution points in the most efficient way you can to produce crates. So for me, the way I do it is I put all of the possible contribution points I can into lodging for the amount of workers I need. So of course, you fill up Grana as much as you can, and at base, I don't have any like extra slots or anything like pay to win stuff, so I can get 9 workers in Grana. So I get the 3 lodging that I can get in Grana for all the workers there. Those are going to be my crate producers. Anywhere they go, since they're stationed in Grana with the materials there, the crates are accounted to Grana. So that's the origin point. Then you get wood workbenches for all those workers. After that, you'll assign contribution to timber nodes, and then finally you will connect all the cities from Grana to Valencia, which will be the trade-in. And the reason you want to do it in this way is that you can have your workers producing crates at any point in this system, and you can actually work towards getting enough contribution to connect the entire pathway you need for the trade turn-ins over time. The other major requirement is to get to Artisan 2 trading level, because that gives you the buff, the special desert trading buff that makes this whole system profitable. You will need that buff for this to work. For the third part of the system, you're going to want a fishing pole. Of course, I would suggest the Balenos fishing pole, enhanced to whatever level you are comfortable with, because it reduces your AFK fishing time by a very significant margin. A typical cycle is as follows. You'll set your character up to AFK process timber. So it will be chopping timber into planks, and then chopping planks into plywood. And then you're done. You put that in your storage, and your workers will make crates. That's how it works. At the point where you're done playing for the day and you can just leave your computer on overnight or something like that, you want to switch to AFK Fishing, because based on your inventory, you'll be able to fish for a very long period of time without having to check into the computer. The AFK Fishing aspect of this whole system is so beneficial and synergistic that I really do think it's an integral part. I wouldn't recommend skipping it. You know, like if you aren't comfortable leaving your computer on, then just take a little bit of time out of the processing timber during your playtime in the day and actually AFK fish. The reason for this is that turning in the fish actually gives you liquid silver to work with, which is big. Another part of it is that you're going to be catching ancient relic shards, which you can run to get memory fragments for your enhancing sessions, which is also very good. And on top of all of that, the long distance trade Granada to Valencia is actually giving you trade experience. So if you set up the workers to produce crates before you have all of the contribution points you need, or before you have your Artisan 2 trading level, the AFK fishing time is actually getting you trading experience without you having to be actively playing as well. So it actually is a great part of this whole thing. So I'm sure you guys are seeing the like big picture here with the system, and I have like a smirk on my face right now with like how perfect it is. With this system, you never have to sell anything on the marketplace, so you bypass the value pack. You're not using your energy and don't need item drop rate, so that there goes the Camisylvia buff, not necessary. None of the pay to win stuff is necessary, and you don't need gear. You're not killing any mobs or bosses or anything like that. I mean, you're doing the relic shards, but it's okay. You can do that with very basic stuff. But yeah, you're dealing with the NPC in Valencia, the trade NPC in Valencia to trade in your crates and your fish, and you're getting the desert buff from the NPC in Pilgrim Sanctum sharing, and that's it. So you bypass everything, and your active time is as close to 0 as it can be. It really is. There's not much you actually have to do. The system's actually great. Therefore, this method will work for any type of player. At minimum effort, it will still be very effective as shown in this video. And on the other side of the spectrum, if you're a lot more active, you can just have this running for your benefit while you play the game however you see fit. I hope I covered enough here so that any of you watching that want to start your own crate production company can do so if you so choose. If you found the video helpful, or you just want to support me in general, you can click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.